Hi, I'm Pooka Tuts, and this is a short video to cover some of the changes that I've noticed in the graphics thermometer since beta. In my beta tutorials, I mentioned that paintings, when they are cloned, affect the graphics thermometer, and at that time, that was true, but that has changed, and you may have seen this collection shown in beta videos. I've gone in here now and I've made some extra notes to represent the new changes, and so I'm just going to go over a few of the really important things here. The first thing is that if we look at paintings that are made from cloning strokes, and I'll show what I mean just by going in here. This is all one painting, and when I scope in, each of these is one scribble that I made, all with one paint stroke, and it's just been cloned 15 times to make this painting. And in beta, that painting took up 2% of the graphics thermometer. It now takes up only 1%, and more importantly, when you clone brush strokes inside of a painting now, it doesn't actually appear to drive up the thermometer at any consistent rate, because I'll go back in here again. When I grab these and if I just start making loads of clones, what will end up happening before the graphics thermometer starts to actually go up is that now I just can't make any more clones. It won't let me, because this is the most amount of paint flecks that you can have in one individual painting, which means that you then have to start a new one. And I'll just bring up the thermometer here really quickly. As you can see, it's still at 1% graphics. So the graphics thermometer has been greatly optimized when it comes to cloning paintings and individual paint strokes. So in addition to it being easier to make a complex painting, when you clone paintings, they don't behave the same way anymore. So over here, this is, in beta, this was 3% graphics, and it is still 3% on the graphics, this little bit of scribbles that I made. In beta, when I took that and I cloned it 100 times, the graphics thermometer had gone up to 43%. Now it stays at 3%. The graphics thermometer does not increase. So that's consistent with what happens when you clone sculpts. And I suspect that that's the way that it was always intended to be, and that was just one of those little beta bugs. The final thing that I want to cover here is in relationship to duplicates, the duplicates tweak, which I talk about. It's still a good way of saving space on the gameplay thermometer, but I'd like to point out that it does not, at this time, affect the graphics thermometer. It used to be that this bunch of cloned paintings here that took up 43%, it used to be that if I instead used the duplicates tweak, it would go to stay at 3% instead of jumping up to 43. That is, of course, still true, but it's no longer really as relevant because of the fact that you can actually just clone paintings without an impact to the graphics thermometer. So again, the duplicates tweak, still important, but only important to the gameplay thermometer, not important to the graphics thermometer. The final thing I'm going to show is just to illustrate how these changes manifest. I'm going to show this scene that I created in beta, and when I created this, both the gameplay and graphics thermometers were at 100%. I actually had to delete some things so that I could save my level. If we notice now, the graphics are at 75%. That's because there are a lot of cloned paintings in here, and those paintings, like, for example, all of these that I'm highlighting here, these are clones of paintings. There's cloned paintings back here. There's cloned paintings all through these structures. That was accounting for 25% of the graphics thermometer that has now been freed up because of these optimized changes that have been made. So that's all that I needed to show today, just to clarify the points that I made in the beta tutorials. Again, those were valid at the time, but that is no longer true. And you can come and look at this collection in my thermometer tutorial collection, which is within the Pooka Tuts video content collection. You can go in here and you can look at all of these. These are all remixable. You can open them in edit mode if you want to see what the thermometer reading actually is. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.